Okay, so we're going to work starting with some of the material from Kilobolt's Unit 2 Day 8. What we're going to do first is we're going to scroll on down to the top or bottom here, and we'll download this zip file right here. So go ahead and download that. Once that downloads, you'll go ahead and you'll unzip it. So go to your, I imagine if you're using a Windows system, you'll go to your Downloads folder, and then once you find that folder, I want you to move it to a location that you feel comfortable in. I'm going to end up putting mine to the C drive here. And then once I do that, I can go to my C drive. And then extract it. So in order to extract a file, you have to right click on it. And then whatever extracting software you might have, you go ahead and you extract it, and I would just say leave it to the drive that you have it on. Once it does extract, should open up in that folder. We're going to go ahead and close that. So just remember where you did that at, and then we'll go to the File menu on Eclipse, and we'll go to File, Import, Existing Projects, make sure you're in the General folder, Existing Projects into Workspace, and then select that root directory. So you'll have to find that file on the unzipped file on your C drive, which is where I saved mine, so Kilobolt Day 8 right there. And then click OK, and then you should have the Finish button, and then just go ahead and click Finish. Now if you looked at your project, if you were following along with me, you have these two separate folders. If you have any classes or anything open in your editing window here, I would definitely close them all so that you don't get confused. And then open up just the Kilobolt Day 8, and you'll see that you have the data folder, Kilobolt, and Kilobolt game.framework. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to mrbuka.net and go to the programming site on mrbuka.net, and then you can just go Control F and then look for EXPL, which will bring you down to this link, which would be the explosion animation tiles. And we'll go ahead and download those. That link will be working by the time that you actually get to it. But once you download them, you'll get them in a zip file. So what you'll do at that point is you'll take those and you'll extract those. As you can see, I've already done. I have all of my little pictures laying all around right now. So then you're going to highlight all the pictures, which there should be 9 of them. And then you're going to simply drag them into your Eclipse and drop them in your data folder. So now, when I look in here, I have all these Jughead walking pictures, if you will, 1 through 9. Okay, so now we have the data files. Now what we need to do is we need to actually go into the Kilobolt game. We're going to go just to the starting class. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to follow the steps that you would see on Unit 2 Day 8 in Kilobolt, though we will veer from it slightly. So I'm going to go to 25, and if I back up, it's right here, Lesson 2-25. This is the section that we're going to refer to. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow the steps. The first thing we need to do is update our image declaration. So we need to declare variables. I'm going to declare variables. I'll call it mech guy walk right 1, and then do that for all of these. Okay, so now I have these 9 variables here. I will have warnings on them. That's because we haven't assigned them and we're not using them anywhere in our code just yet. Also, what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to add a new animation. Because he's going to be a mech guy and he's going to be walking right, I'll just call him MGWR anim. And then I will come down to the image setups, and just to kind of save time here, I'm going to copy and paste this, so copy, Control C, paste, Control V, and then start off with mech guy walk right 1 equals, now there's a lot of typing here involved, so I've got to just make sure I've got the name right, and you got to be very careful with how you're typing these, because if you don't type in the right picture name, then obviously you won't have anything showing. So Jughead underscore walking 0001.png. All right, so I can verify that that's correct, and once I verify that my typing is correct, I'm going to make my life a little easier. I'm going to copy this line, and I'm going to paste it another 8 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then of course I'll make the appropriate changes so that I can assign the variables and the images to those variables, and save myself a little bit of time hand typing everything. Okay, so once I have that, I'll go ahead and Control S save it so far so I don't lose any of my work. And then, so now I've loaded the pages, if you will, or I've at least loaded the pictures, right? So now I need to actually create sort of my flipbook animation. So I'm going to copy these 2 lines, anim equals new animation, anim add frame, and give myself some space. And again, I'm going to change this, mech guy walking right anim, mech guy walking right anim. I'm going to change that to 100. I don't need 1250. That's a long time. All right, so now I'm creating this new animation. Well, now what I'm going to do is take this. Obviously, I need to change the picture that's also showing too. So mech guy walk right 1, right? So I'm going to add that picture to it. Now that I've done that one line correctly, I'm going to paste 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, and then I will change the numbers accordingly, so that I can add the correct pages to my flipbook here. Okay, so now that I have that, I need to make sure that my animation is being updated, so I go to the animate method. And then I simply just do mech guy walk right anim.update. And we'll do it for 50. All right, so now I should have no errors, and I've got my animation. Now I have to decide when should I animate this. There's a couple different ways to do it, but for simplicity's sake, I will do it like this. I'm in the run method, and right here, this if statement, if I look at it closely, and get these on their own different lines here too, so it's a little visually easier to see. So if robot is jumped, the current sprite equals character jumped, which is just that single picture. That's why when you jump, you see the robot kind of splayed out, jumping in the air. Else, if the robot is jumped equals false and robot is ducked equals false, then we do current sprite anim, which is right now just the robot blinking, right? We're going to change that a little bit. As a matter of fact, we're going to make current sprite, well, actually, let's do it this way. If our jump is false, robot dot is moving left equals false, and okay, so if ducked is false and and robot is moving left is false, and robot is moving right equals false, we're going to go ahead and just do current sprite anim, which is, it just means he's idle. He's not doing anything here, right? So then, once I have that, I'm going to copy and paste this else if here. Just put down a line here. Now I'm going to say, okay, what if I'm moving right? Okay, so obviously I want jump to be false. I want duck to be false. I want is moving left to be false, but I want is moving right to equal to the value of true. And if he is moving right, I don't want him doing anim. I want him doing mech guy, walk right, anim. Now if I play this, I should get moving right, I should get this mech guy. Stopping, being idle again, I just get my blinking character. So moving right, now if I jump, I just get that splayed apart one. It's not really an animation, it's just the one image, really. So that's how you set that up. Now, if I were to take this and then just want to leave this alone, but create a project folder or a new one so that I don't mess this up, but I still want to experiment, all I have to do is this. I go ahead and I go to File, New, Java Project, and I'll call it Kilo Challenge, because it's going to be me challenging myself. I want to try to practice new things, but I don't want to mess up the code that I already had. Well, all I need to do then is I open this up, I see the SRC folder. Well, I'm going to open up my Kilobolt Game 8, and I'm going to open up that source folder. I'm going to minimize all these. I'm going to Control and then left click on all those. Then I'm going to Control C. I'll come on my SRC file in my Kilo challenge and I'll hit Control V. And I'll write yes to all. And I should now have all these images in here, or all these values in here. Now my starting class seems to have an issue, but that's dependent on the way that I set up my stuff. So if for some reason you have this odd error, which I highly doubt you will have, but if you do have this odd error, all you need to do is go down to that error, and I just have these override notations, so I just need to get rid of them. A couple different ways to do that too, but just to show you, just highlight over them, delete them is one way to do it. And then when you get rid of that, if you had this error, you should be good to go. And your code should also run well in there. Now, again, I like to close my classes if I'm not using them so I don't get confused which one's in which project. But if I go here, go to Kilobolt Game, this starting class, and I run it, I should have, well, the same thing really. All right? So hopefully that helps you get set up and not only teaches you how to do some quick animations, but allows you to set up your own project so you can mess that up without messing up what already works. All right, good luck.